we're only doing this one little type of competition called individual trampoline and synchro with the same 10 skills that everyone's doing, looking the same, and then we scratch our head wondering why no one wants to watch it over 20 years? I can tell you why. I was on Team Canada back in the day, and I basically saw that there were some issues with the way the whole system worked. I ended up getting a really lucky sort of opportunity to go with Nitro Circus. They saw some of my online videos back in like 2010-11 and said, hey, come and do a tour with us, and we'll put a super trampoline in the middle of the stadium with motocross and BMX and R. Willie and Travis and all these guys doing their thing. So I got to tour with them in Australia, and that gave us the idea for Freestyle Trampoline.
All right, give you another go. Start clapping your hands together. Let's see if we can get these guys to flip. 1, 2, 3. Count it with me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Are you dizzy, buddy?
For you guys who do not know, Olympic trampoline has been around for many, many years, and it was put into the Olympics in 2000. But since then, it's seen a steady decline over the years, just with social media and trampoline parks popping up and people just becoming more free and not wanting to necessarily do all of the traditional sports, we'll call them. So what that did is give us a bit of an opening to say, let's rethink trampoline. So we call it the Freestyle Trampoline Association. We did our first official event called GT Games, Garden Trampoline Games, in 2017 in Escondido, California. And that all of a sudden just blew up. We didn't even realize we were tapping into this market of all these kids in their backyards that were just going nuts and doing quad backflips and triple this and quint that, and we're like, what's going on? Because we were still thinking about the traditional Olympic side, traditional gym clubs, sign up, become a member, compete with your leotard and all that. That still was in the forefront of everyone's mind. This little garden trampoline sect over here just did not exist.
What is up, guys? We're at the G-Tramp Games and we're doing Game of Tramp right now. I forgot to film some of it, so I'm just gonna record. Yes.
Is everybody gone?
It's one bounce dub back.
How about all this?
Quad full set.
Oh my god!
We didn't know that they were talking online for many, many years. So what we ended up doing is saying, look, let's grab that kind of community. Let's give them a platform. They're a lot more like the Nitro Circus guys. This is a fresh start, fresh mind state. You don't just go to the old traditional guys and tell them to change their ways. You start with a fresh, new, open system that then you can now put and then build it towards helping the traditionals. But you got to start separate. You do not just ask them to change. But from there, we basically said, look, we're going to make this platform. We're going to do GT Games. It blew up on New York Times, LA Times, Steve Harvey. Ellen DeGeneres has covered some of the athletes that have been at the event. The list just goes on. And all of a sudden on Google Trends, it went phew, like this. And you could see it. It was the sport born on Instagram officially now. And we ran with that. We did events all over the world from 2017 to COVID. And we planted seeds all over the place that became our future partners, future sponsors, future athletes, future clubs, kind of like a traditional system. And when COVID hit, we had to rethink. We'll get into all that. It's esports and franchising, virtual reality, all these kind of cool things that we're dabbling in now. But once the COVID was over, World Champs was up on 2022, and that set the stage for now what is becoming the World Series for Freestyle Trampoline.
it's amazing, but it's more about growing the sport, less than just winning a trophy. Like, this was really the first step for this sport to grow, and it has a lot of potential. So it was just great to see everybody throw down today, and yeah, it's really just the beginning still. So we have a lot more to go.
And as of this year, we just finished our World Champs. We added a girls category in, we added new countries, we got more broadcasts. We actually had a good, decent broadcast with our partners at Extreme or Unreal Channel. And everyone's super happy, and now we have signed an exclusive long-term deal with Eurotramp, which is the Olympic trampoline supplier, for us to do freestyle with them, which is a landmark contract because no one's really done anything like that before. And now basically the traditional side is being told by the IOC that, hey, your stuff isn't so cool anymore, your viewership is down, no one's excited, you need to change, or we might de-Olympify you by 2028. And this is coming from the federation. This is not my random belief, this is coming from them. So they are now on the chopping block, and they're looking to quickly pivot to make sure that they're still relevant in the digital sports age, I guess we'll call it. And we are at the forefront of leading that for at least the trampoline side, kind of following the steps of parkour, which is really cool that we can have this conversation. Because we're just a few years behind you guys, and the way that the traditional system has been able to work with parkour and try to kind of, take some of their values, whether you like it or not, I'm sure we'll discuss that. But we are in the same position with trampoline, where trampoline's now, on its dying breaths, and maybe we can revamp it a little bit to give it some new life, reposition it, and be able to have a bright future for the athletes, the federations, maybe the Olympics, X Games, wherever.
Now, your first place, your gold medal, it's the first ever Freestyle Trampoline World Championship for the ladies. Lydia Peltomäki!
Lydia Peltomäki from Finland. A very well-deserved win. I mean, it was definitely common. She threw the 2 triples in her routine.
Really earned it. Look at her.
She'll be absolutely ecstatic with that. The first ever female world champion.
But again, it wasn't just because we're geniuses patting ourselves on the back. There was a lot of factors that came in. Social media, trampoline parks, the fact the industry was already kind of struggling, and some of the behind the scenes issues that were definitely making everyone a little bit weary of it anyway. We'd be able to come in at let's say, a lucky, opportune time, but with our head on straight, ready to go, knowing where we want to go in 20 years, and ready to be able to help the community. We're not trying to destroy traditional trampoline. I love trampoline's a trampoline. I don't care if you're a traditional freestyle, or if you're a tumbler on a fast track, or if you're at Cirque du Soleil doing that cool net that Dave Locke and all these guys are doing. It's a bouncy item. It's a bouncy item, and let's figure out what we can do with it, but let's rethink what we can do about it. Because I look at this huge open field of all, great vegetables and flowers and different things you can do, and I'm trying to figure out why we're only doing this one little type of competition called individual trampoline and synchro with the same 10 skills that everyone's doing, looking the same, and then we scratch our head wondering why no one wants to watch it over 20 years. I can tell you why, and and this is where, guys, let's rethink, let's get out of the box and revamp the entire thing, from the culture to the educational models, to the way people view it, to the way people participate in it, to the way, are you an amateur sport or professional sport? We are making it a professional sport. We are trying to get these guys sponsorships and say, no, guys, if you really want your sport to thrive, you're gonna need to get your athletes paid. Obviously, we're only 6 years in, so we have a long ways to go, and only a handful of our athletes are getting sponsorships currently right now, but that is the trajectory of being able to reposition the entire community so that the GoPros and the G Fuels and the Red Bulls and all these kind of bigger companies will actually look at it and say, hey, our brand belongs with this activation. And that's what we're essentially trying to do, but we want to do it with the traditional system, not against them.